Alright, today's set, we've got Hackerj representing Team Unhinged, playing against Vint from Team Savage. Looking like this could go either way. Hackerj's got a pretty solid TVP. I'm not as familiar with Vint. This is actually his first game of Season 2, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see how good he does here. Trying to not spoil myself at all by looking into anything about this set, so everything's going to be a surprise for me. I will try to not be biased. Hackerj is in my clan, Gosu in the making. Vint, I'm not so sure what team he's on, so let's just get right into it. Okay, this is game number 1 between Hackerj23 in the orange in the bottom right, up against Vint, the pink Protoss. Pink? Beige? Human color? Peach, maybe. Yeah, I think this might be peach. Over on the bottom left corner of Octagon. 8 o'clock. Looks like the spawning locations are going to kind of favor aggressive pushes coming from the Terran, since he will have a number of routes that he can take with his units to quickly get into the natural base of Vint. I'm going to double check right now who is on whose team, because I forget pretty easily. Okay, Hackerj is on Unhinged, and Vint is playing for Savage. I will remember that. So far, nothing too crazy going on build-wise. Hackerj putting his first supply depot up against the command center. Vint opting for a gateway first expand, or gateway first opening, excuse me. Into gas. No forward positioning here. His gateway is a little bit far back from where I'd like it to be, ideally. I make this mistake all the time. I forget where the ramp is actually located, but it is quite far away from the ramp. Rack's coming down for Hackerj, and he is looking like he's going to go for some kind of factory-based opening, since he is taking the gas first after putting down the barracks. First scout is going the wrong way. Probe in the main base for Vint is lost. He is trying to find his way out of the main. I think this is Vint's first game of the SCUL season, so maybe he hasn't played Octagon in a while, or I'm not sure, but he is opting now to go for his first scout, second pylon, closer to the ramp. Hackerj not able to get that first scout off. Is actually sending out a second SCV. Looking like he's trying to very quickly determine what's going on. Maybe he's worried about some kind of early push coming from his opponent. Vint is looking like he may last scout Hackerj here. Not what he wants, but we'll see how he deals with this incoming SCV. Both SCVs making their way into bases now, and Hackerj will find what he's looking for. Sees the cybernetics core spinning, range is on the way, first Dragoon is out. Oh, looking sneaky. A proxy factory has been set up, so this is going to be a very aggressive game coming out of Hackerj. I think very well suited to the spawns here. 2-fact opening against what is looking like a 1-gate expo. Vint's money piling up right now to get the Nexus down at the natural. It is down. He has not yet scouted the Terran base. He just found it with his first goon. Poking out the front, there are 3 Marines over here to greet him, say hi. Probe is coming back, is not going to check around the rest of the map for anything, any shenanigans. So this proxy factory could be pretty deadly for Hackerj. And what tech choice is Vint opting for? It's Twilight Council on the way, so looking like a DT opening. DT's against... Oh! Looks like he is canceling the Twilight Council. Or Citadel, excuse me. SC2 on the brain. As he noticed that the SCV is making its way into the main. That's extremely fortunate for Hackerj. He is remaking the Citadel now. Trying to trick his opponent. However, first siege tank is out, second siege tank is on the way, and vultures are coming. It will be very difficult to hold this push without the Dark Templar, which might have been out in time if he didn't cancel the Citadel. I'm not so sure if the mind game is going to pay off over here. Goons right now setting up at the front of the natural for Hackerj, but he is neglecting the fact that there is another path that Hackerj could take. He can sidestep these goons entirely if he wants to. There is one goon watching the back way. Marines coming out right now, and he's going to get a goon for free. Vint is not paying attention, almost loses that first Dragoon. Two vultures are coming out right now. Spider Mine research is on the way. It will be finished very shortly. This first goon is probably going to die to these two vultures. I don't see how Vint is going to be able to hold over here. Spider Mines are out. Three goons with range. They could poke down these Marines. He doesn't want to let Hackerj get too close. He's letting him get way too close on this push. It will be difficult to hold without pulling the boys. He does have a shield battery up, but he needs to pull the probes here. I'm not so sure how he's going to be able to hold this push at this point. The Terran is already setting up shop in the natural. Goons are dying one at a time. There is no answer to the two-fact push here with the proxy factory. And Vint taps out. GG. Game number 1 goes to Hackerj. Alright, we're on to game number 2. Map is match point. Hackerj taking the first game quickly for Unhinged here. Let's see if he opts to go for some more aggressive play. I think that the opening that he chose that last game on Octagon was perfect for the layout, spawn layout between the two players. Vint this time opting to go for an early probe move out of his own here. Let's see if he is going to go for a proxy this time in response to the proxy coming out of Hackerj the first game. This is a two-player map, so he knows exactly where Hackerj is spawning. Perfect opportunity for some shenanigans. He is opting to go for a proxy gateway opening. Meanwhile, Hackerj looking to make somewhat of a wall in at the front using the minerals to help seal things up a little bit. I don't think that he will have a really solid wall by the time this forward gateway is completed and zealots are on the way. We'll see how aggressive Vint wants to get here. The way that that probe is inching around on the map and the lack of other probes being built makes me think we are going to see a 2-gate. Wow, and it is scouted immediately by Hackerj. Wow. Very fortunate for him. But just scouting it and dealing with it, you know, not exactly the same thing. He is opting to respond by getting 2 barracks of his own. He's not looking like he's going to opt for sealing the gap over here, which I might have thought would be a good idea, but I'm not a Terran, so I don't know. First zealot is on the way. Vint is looking like he wants to commit decently to this. He is remaking probes, but very curious to see how hard he's going to commit to this 2-gate opening. Barracks are still not complete yet. Very close. And the first zealot is out on the way. Where is Hackerj going to build his first bunker? Okay, over at the front. But the first zealot is actually going to be poking his way in right now. He's just going to run right by this. Marine is out. They give each other a little kiss, a little beso, and 2 Marines out now for Hackerj. Zealots are going to just run by, and the first Zealot is right into the mineral line. This is the ideal scenario for Vint. The SCVs are gathering up right now. They are going to try to repel these Zealots, maybe make a human wall for the Marines to clean things up. But that one Marine is looking really scared, running away. SCV blocks him. Not what he wants to have happen here. SCV is not mining. Vint continuing to micro. I think Hackerj is coming out ahead in this scenario, in this situation. Not that many SCVs. Oh my god, another Zealot slipped right through. Okay, that's actually not so good for Hackerj. He needed that wall to be fairly solid, but Zealots are all down now. Okay, I hear supply depot is going down over at the front. That is gonna supply block Hackerj. And he's going to have a hard time dealing with 3 Zealots now, with this bunker not being a tight wall in. Oh, Marine, nice. Marine doing a very good job body blocking these Zealots. That is what we want to have happen for Hackerj to repel this attack, but Vint with 3 Zealots now in the main base, very scary. Marines are going to try to clean this up. SCVs being pulled to run away. Let's see. Zealots are doing their dance. I think he's going to clean these Zealots up. Another Zealot's running right through. And this Marine is not long for the world. I think Vint is doing some great damage with these Zealots now. Probably a lot more than he should have been able to get away with. Zealot at the front, making its way in. And some more additional lost mining time behind this. Vint has taken his gas. He will have goons coming through. And yeah, there is an actual follow-up coming now from Vint, who is pulled ahead in the worker count. Zealots are starting to really whittle away at these SCVs. Marines are going to have a difficult time. There are no buildings for him to dance around. SCV's doing a good job being a makeshift wall, but all the Marines are down. SCV's under attack. Zealot has snuck through, taxing the multitask of Hackerj. He is not able to clean up these Zealots fast enough for his multitask to handle it. Dropped down to 14 SCVs, Vint pulling ahead, and let's see, he has opted to go for Twilight Citadel. Why do I keep saying Twilight Council? Man, I love that building name, Twilight Council. That sounds way nicer than Citadel of Adun, but maybe that's just me. Regardless, Marines are going to push away these Dragoons, but will the Dark Templar switch be a surprise? I think it might be. Okay, good cleanup over here. He is pushing away these Dragoons. If he can kill this pylon before the other additional goons spawn out, he would be in amazing shape. One hit away, nice, he does kill it. Unpowering these 2 gateways, that's actually very big for holding any kind of follow-up from Vint, who now has to send out 2 probes across the map. 1 goon is about to finish, but he does have 2 out now. Hackerj stabilizing a little bit, has his factory up. Is looking like he wants to wall off at the front, but Templar Archives is on the way, so the Invisible Men are also on their way. 2 additional gateways coming down. Vint is looking to all in off of 1 base here to try and end the game with his initial damage. Will Hackerj see this coming? He does have an academy coming, so he will have potential to have scans. However, let's see what... He has not seen anything so far. He basically just scouted that proxy, has not had a chance since then to catch his breath, get a look at what's going on from Vint, so he's playing very much in the dark right now. Forward pylon being placed here. And a forge coming up just in case for Vint to keep himself secure in case Hackerj does opt for Wraith play as a counter. I don't think he has much to worry about though. First two invisible men coming through. There is zero detection. Comsat is on the way, but that's only going to be so much. Engineering bay also being built now, but the invisible men are quickly approaching at the front. There is a chance that Hackerj could get a god scan and get both of these at the same time. Let's see, they run right through. Comsat is about to finish, but the Dark Templar are in the main, swiping away at the SCVs, and he's gonna have to. He does not want to. Oh, he does not want to use a scan too prematurely, but he does, and engineering bay still being built. These Dark Templar are gonna go crazy on the Marines, killing them in one swipe. Engineering bay is completed. But the Dark Templar are going to clean things up here for Vint. And it's GG. Game number 2 going to Vint. Alright, let's get into game number 3 between Hackerj and Vint. Hackerj up in the top right as the yellow Terran, and Vint up in the top left as what I am now considering the pink color at the 11 o'clock. Map is Attitude. So 4-player map this time around. Hopefully we'll see a longer macro game coming from these two players. I'd love to see full-fledged macro battle between these guys. Let's see what they're capable of. Nothing to report on yet. Vint has opted to, once again, close pylon to the Nexus. Hopefully Gateway won't be too far away from that ramp. Hackerj opting to build his first supply depot at the top of the ramp. Probably will want to wall off. I get the sense that he's going to be going for something a little bit more sneaky, though, if he is building the first supply depot over here at the ramp. We will see if there's a gas follow-up. Meanwhile, for Vint over in the main base, his gateway is getting up, getting built. No scout opening, a little bit more greedy. I think I noticed that the first game of the set, he opted for a very delayed scout. It seemed a little bit less intentional. This time it does seem like a very deliberate choice. Getting his core out right away. And we'll now go for the scout on core. Meanwhile, for Hackerj, he actually is opting for command center first on the high ground. Interesting, not what I was expecting, but very cool. Looking like we are going to get that big macro gameplay, at least coming out of Hackerj. Vint is going to get lucky with his scout. First scout going straight to the base of Hackerj is going to find that command center's building. Oh, SCV does get a little nice block. Can Vint see the command center? He can't actually see the command center yet. Will he spot it? Or will the SCV block it? Wow. What a block. What a block by that SCV. Now, Vint probably knows something is going on though, because that barracks isn't finished yet. If he does have his timings memorized, he should know. Alright, there's probably a command center. Let's see, SCV doing a great job blocking, but the probe does sneak through, is looking around right now into the main. However, he has not seen the command center yet. Does see that there's a gas, so could be thinking that there's a proxy factory coming to play if he's like suspicious of that. But I would be more concerned about the delayed barracks and think, okay, there's probably and now he sees the command center, so now he knows what's going on. First Dragoon making its way across the map, with the second one very close to being done. And, you know, there actually is no bunker up for Hackerj, so I'm very curious to see how he plans on holding this first goon with one Marine, and that's it. So he's pulling the boys over here to try and get some buffer while he gets his additional factories up as a follow-up. This Marine, though, this Marine is very aggressive. The SCVs are not being pulled for some reason. I'm honestly shocked at how greedy Hackerj is being. I don't think he recognizes the threat that he's under right now. Second Dragoon is on the way, and there are no additional Marines, so there's nothing actually to go into this bunker in the first place. So he's going to be taking a lot of damage here. In the meantime, I'm not really so sure about this opening. I mean, you know, I am sure Command Center first is great. However, I'm not so sure about the decision here on the SimCity and when to get onto the low ground, based off of almost no intel. These two Dragoons are wreaking havoc. A Nexus is going up. There are some additional gates coming down as a follow-up here from Vint. No tech choice yet, but I think he recognizes that he doesn't need to rush to get a robotics facility or anything like that, because he's up against Command Center first. And he's doing some excellent damage with his first two Dragoons. He can kill another Marine for almost for free. And he is able to escape with one of his Dragoons for free. 7 kills on this guy. A lot of SCVs went down here to this, and the push is not over yet. Does not want to lose this goon. He does have range, so he should be able to poke at this bunker from outside of the range. And where are the factories? Factories are up for Hackerj, but he doesn't have the money to actually build any siege tanks. Shockingly, getting another machine shop instead of getting out a tank. Not really sure what the game plan is right now. There's just going to be more and more goons coming down at the front, and he can just bust things down. You know, I think Hackerj really needs to have a better plan than repairing an empty bunker, because this is not going to be it. Additional goons are coming in to reinforce at the front. Siege tanks are coming out now. First one is almost complete, second one on the way. There is no siege mode research just yet. So these goons could just go for a YOLO push, suicide onto any tanks that come down here. He will have the high ground, and he's going to start poking at this Dragoon. But Vint will reorient his Dragoons to maybe go for a dive here. Recognizes that this bunker is empty, continues to be empty, and cleans that up. And yeah, the lack of siege mode for Hackerj is really painful. I don't know if he forgot to research it and wanted to research it, but he did have the gas to do so. Siege tank is about to die right now, and second siege tank is looking very vulnerable. I think this might be another very quick game. Vint cleaning up all of the siege tanks here. Most likely, just he's going to keep rallying goons over to the natural at this point. Has lots of money, but doesn't really care. He's focusing all of his efforts on his micro right now, try and clean things up, and Hackerj taps out. GG is called. Vint takes the series 2-1. And another very short game. Good games to Vint, and congratulations to Savage on the victory of this set.